Well, hi everybody, welcome back to Kevin's Kreations. I'm your host Kevin.
I'm William.
And we're going to do things a little different today. Normally I do a deck tech, but today we're going to go over the Richardson GP that I was in this last weekend.
Yeah.
A couple of us locals went down there to play in the GP Richardson in Texas. So.
And what was so different down there, Kevin?
So this was the one that they did sealed.
Nice.
Everyone freaked out about it online, but it's really not that bad. Like
it's a little different than what you might think.
Yeah,
but it seems okay.
It's different. It's just we're gonna go over it all. It puts everybody at the same level, and that's what it made it really interesting, and a lot of us really enjoyed. So we're gonna go through my pool of what I played and how I did and everything like that. So it'll be a little different.
Just typically of like the basics of a sealed pool, like what you want to pick out.
How a force of will sealed works. How I'm gonna go over everything about it, the way it works, way you do it, and what all works and what all doesn't work. So
sounds good. All right.
Well, let's dive right into this, guy. So when we get down there to do all of this stuff, we sign in, get our promo, which I got the fancy little soul envoy of the light.
Not too bad.
It's pretty good. You get him and you get a playmat for going and signing up. But when you get your 6 packs, you get 3 of each. Well, we played, it was Advent of Demon King and Ancient Knights, 3 of each. But y'all all know when you open packs, you get God packs, you get Ubers, you get all the fancy cards. So you can't play those in a sealed event, in a big sealed event like that.
Otherwise, you'll just dominate the
Yeah,
the
I mean,
field,
if you open
and
a
they
God
don't want
pack,
that.
you get to win because you have 10 rares that nobody else gets.
Yeah. They thankfully they make it a little more about skill and not just luck most of the time.
So
it's still lucky, but
yeah. So what we did is everybody opened their first pack at once and then checked it. So we started with ADK and went down the line.
Now Kevin here got to experience one of those special occasions.
So like if you pulled an Uber, if you pulled a God pack, or if you pulled one of the princes or the fancy handsome,
the pretty boys.
Yeah, the pretty boys. You had to raise your hand, call for a judge, and they'd replace the pack. You get to keep the pack, so you get an extra pack for free, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got lucky and got one of the Milliums, the little, the handsome Millium.
Yeah. Pretty sly guy right there.
The more I looked at this pack after I'd gotten the rest of mine taken care of and my deck built, I'm real glad this pack was not in the sealed at all, because it's really strong and sealed.
Yeah.
So in this pack was the Millium. I had a Fair's Command, because it's Fair's Command.
Yeah.
We're just killing everyone. Portal in the Woods, so the card that gives all your dudes +10/+10, let's just make lots of little dudes. Spirit Collar Elf, because we need more little dudes to make.
Of course.
And it's all green. Transforming Vampire, which for a 2-drop, 5/4 that gains you life, awesome. In limited.
Now does that actually say the code? Or does it just say whenever it hits?
When it deals damage, you gain life. So, I mean, it's super good in this format.
Yeah.
Keys' Call, it's pretty good. It's got its uses.
You know, Yelling Dolphin, it's cute.
Yeah. Discovery, it's 1 mana, gain a gem, draw a card all day.
Yeah.
And then the 3 cards that were not so good in it, Giant Squid, which is just a vanilla dude. Leaf Guard, he's just a vanilla dude himself, but he has his uses. In my deck, he didn't have any use because I wasn't playing elementals. And the last one is the Coral Palace. It's cool, but
meh.
I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Even still, I couldn't use any of those cards because that whole pack gets taken out.
Yeah.
If you have any of the fancy cards in it, that whole pack just gets taken out.
It's not because they take one card. They can't just take the one card out of the pack and make it special because it's uneven.
Yeah, because then you're down a card.
Yeah.
So it's unfair for you then. But it's just that's just how they did it, and it works. And it was pretty quick and pretty easy. So it didn't really hurt anybody.
Awesome.
So after that, after everybody's packs are done and separate and done, you fill out a deck list, a registration of what your card pool is in that thing. You don't fill out your actual deck, you just fill out a card list.
Yes.
And then
pretty much it has the name of the card and you just be like, okay, I got one of this card.
You write down how many you have of each of those cards.
Okay.
And then after that we put it all back together and we each pass to the right. So we didn't get to keep the stuff that we opened. Thank God, because my first pool was bad. But it's whatevs. So
nice.
you pass to the right and then you get whatever you get, and that was your pool. So I ended up with a pretty good little spread of blue, white, green. Those are my stronger colors, and I had the other ones in red and black, but they weren't so good. Like, they had their good cards,
Yeah.
but not enough to support what I needed it to do.
No. With the limited of Force of Will, do you feel like it's easier because how the stones work? It's easier to go multicolors.
Only because of the draft rulers.
Well, only the draft
And
rule. Yeah,
we'll get to them in a second.
Yeah.
But it is simple, but it's... If you can stay 2 colors, it's probably better.
Yeah, always.
But if you get 3 colors, you get more options. That's how it is.
And if you can go monocolor, that's always.
If you go monocolor, more props to you, because that's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
I will say that sealed does have a lot, like it does have a luck value to it, of if you get good cards.
Yeah.
But even then, it's a lot more of how you play the cards, to your skill with the cards.
Yeah.
Because the dude that got my first pull, he was in the top like 32 or top 20 of the 80 people we had. So you could still do good with bad pulls. I saw him next to me a lot of the times. But with that, we'll go through my deck of what I played. It was pretty easy, pretty simple once I got it going.
Yeah. And usually, I guess the more the simple rules for limited, like draft or sealed, it's either like creatures with utility, with powers, or big dudes, something that control the board, and then what's a good third?
And then just your bombs,
just
like
bombs,
the big dudes that you have is like in Force of Will. The biggest thing was if your big dudes can get you, like your bombs get you there. And that's really any like Magic or Force of Will, but Force of Will is extremely about the bombs in limited, really. And the synergy helps a lot.
Yeah, synergy, because there's a lot less kill running around. So
yeah,
one person might get just one out of their whole 6 cards,
Yeah.
or 6 packs. So
I mean, some dude may get lucky and get all the kill, which I played against that dude, and it was bad for me. I mean, we'll get to it. I'll talk about my matches, and I'll tell you all about it.
All right. No.
So
go through your pulls here.
Yeah.
We're going to do this by sections, really. You did a lot of things with gyms, we see.
Yeah.
So with that, what's the ruler?
Okay, the way it works is you get your sealed pull first, and then you get to choose your ruler. So we'll actually go the ruler last on this one. Okay. So that way everybody sees it.
With that, like I said, gym fixing pretty much is what we did. So the first one, the Jeweler's Children, when it enters the graveyard, you get 2 gems, a water gem and a wind gem.
Yeah.
Not too bad for one.
It's just there to produce the gems. That's what I needed it to do.
Little cat here, white cat of Sasuru Palace. Same thing. Just goes in the graveyard, get a gem of any attribute, 1 drop. New Radiance, banish a gem, gain 3 gems of the same type. So basically, essentially, it nets you 2 gems.
Yeah.
Also 1 cost. Discovery, quick cast, gain a gem of any attribute, draw a card. Pretty good.
So many games, so good.
And the last gem filter that you have is a pretty cute gem beast here. Cost 2. When it leaves the field, not goes to the graveyard or anything, get a gem of any attribute. So if you're able to bounce it or people bounce your stuff, you get more gems.
Yeah. So
which is
all of those are really strong in what they do. If I could have done anything to fix it, I would have not played New Radiance because it didn't have enough value for me. But I'll talk about that in the sideboard of what I kept replacing, which yeah, we'll get to it.
Of course, because once you pick your deck and write it down, correct?
Yeah.
You cannot change it when you go. You have to revert back to it.
Yes.
When you go to game 1.
After each match, like each game, you can change, like in sideboards, but each match you have to go back to the starting list.
Yeah.
Because if they deck check you and it's different, you get a game lost. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is because you would be cheating at that point. So you have to go back to the normal whatever you wrote down.
Yep.
It's a pain, but it's a needed thing. And I mean, I messed up. That's my own fault. I learned and now I know. But with all the gyms, I played pandas for most people that don't know what they do, man. But pandas are all about the gyms.
Oh yeah, they use them quite a.
And I'll let Cardo go through them pretty good.
All right, this cute one here, Gem Blade Emerald. When this card enters the field, recover up to 4 target magic stones if you control a wind gem, which you will definitely have. So it's free. Free Panda's free.
Yeah, free Panda is free.
And it's a 8/8 for free.
Yeah, that was the motto of him. Every game played him.
Yeah. Also, Traveling Panda enters the field, banish a wind gem, which of course you will have, and then put the top card of your magic stone onto the play. So you get a free mana, a free stone, which is nice. Heavy Arms Panda, 4-drop. The card gains +4 as long as there's 3 or more different attributes among gems you control. So it becomes a 12/12?
Yeah.
For 4.
He was my big main reason to go gym heavy because, I mean, 4 mana 12/12's pretty hot in a format like this. Even though he's a vanilla dude, he gets big.
Yeah, and for 4 mana, which is good, and hopefully you should have that by then. And you were able to get 2, which is nice.
Yeah, I got 2 in my pool, so I mean it helped out.
All right. The next one is a Panda Pilot. It's a 10/10 for 5. Banish a gem. This game's flying. So.
Yeah, that 10/10 that has flying. Great. Thanks.
And last but not least, the Aquamarine Panda here, Diplomat. Just loves merfolks here.
Yeah, it's a 5/7 for 2. And when it comes into play, you could banish a water gem, and you go search your deck for a mermaid and put it in your hand.
Right.
And he was there because I got 2 of the Coral Reef Mermaid, which is the next card. It's the only mermaid I played. 3-drop 7/7. When it's put into the graveyard from the field, return target resonator your opponent controls to their hand.
Not too bad.
So turn 2, you play the Aquamarine, banish your water gem, go get a mermaid for turn 3. Awesome. That's the kind of synergy I needed and I used in the deck just to keep fueling everything I needed.
Because that's an extra card and able to slow your opponent down.
Yeah, it slows your opponent down on tempo. It gives you an extra card because you get to go get it, and it keeps away from you drawing it later because you searched it out.
Yeah.
And then Panda Pilot, he was there just
you swing in there for
wow.
Yeah. Like I said, creatures with abilities and flying is a very top-notch ability you need for limited.
Yeah, flying is a super good ability in limited.
Yeah.
With that though, we're gonna move into some of the other cards I just had to for extra, and then we'll talk about my bombs. So I had Bullseye Bow, which is I had 2 of them, thankfully.
Yeah.
4 mana, destroy target resonator with total cost 4 or less, or destroy target resonator. Choose the second only if you control an elf. I'll get back to that in a second, but I messed up there. And then I have a Magic Light Warrior. He's one of the only golems I used. Because golems they're kind of a catch-22 in limited because you have to pay for them to attack or block each time. But if it's worth it, it's worth it. And like a 1-drop 6/6 is pretty much worth it because you're just
good.
pay 1, I'm gonna swing for 6. And he looks adorable.
Yeah.
Golden Bird is just a vanilla 6/8 flyer for 3.
Because that's flying.
I mean, it's a flying dude. And then Seal's Familiar McKay. Little cat shoots for 4, and you get to look at the top 3 and put 1 in your hand all day.
Yeah.
That card is useful in limited. And then I had a couple cantrip cards. I had the Angel Statue of the Tower. When it comes into play, you draw a card, and it can produce any color. You tap 1 and make it any color. Or Crystal on the Floating Isle, which is pay 2, comes into play, you draw a card. You can pay 2 and banish it and draw a card.
Which is good.
Anything if it easy enough draws you a card, it's probably pretty good in sealed.
Yeah.
Because it just gets you through. It gets you to more of your stuff. With that, we'll go into my bombs. So, on the lower end of my bombs is a Jewel Golem. It's another one of the golems I used. He's a 10/10 for 5 with Mobilize 1 of colorless. When he comes into play, I gain 1 of each color gem. That's mostly why I needed him.
Pretty good.
Because it gives me 1 of each gem.
Yeah.
At one point in time in the game, I had bounced this dude, or me and my opponent had bounced this dude twice, so I had gotten 10 gems, and it was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Because my Panda Pilot was going to have flying forever.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing else to do with red and black gems ever, because I don't care.
Just get rid of those quick.
And
he looks pretty rad, too.
He's just a 10/10 going to beat you.
Yeah.
And next I had a statue in the Sacred Temple. This card is amazing. If you pull it, you play it. It's 2 mana. Magic stones produce any color mana.
Which is good.
White, red, blue, green, black, and then if you pay 1 of each color, you can banish it and you make a 10/10 flyer.
So at least turn 5, you're making a 10/10 flyer.
Yeah, and the flyer is light, so you got to remember that if the things that say destroy target light resonator, or another anything that deals with certain colored dudes.
Yeah.
Which I had one of those, thankfully, which was Magical Tide Surge. It is 5 mana, 3 blue will, and 2 return all non-water resonators to their owner's hand. The card is pretty hot for what it did. I didn't get as much value as I could have, but it's still good.
It's a non-bow for that, though. With the angel in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... It gave me what I needed when I needed it, because my little mermaids get to get through, and my other big bomb, which was a mosasaur. I mean...
Yeah.
It's a mosasaur, dude. He's just a big dinosaur. 5 mana, it's a 15/10, and when it comes into play, you choose one. Destroy target rested resonator, or 3 target magic stones don't recover their next controller's recovery phase. Can't tell you how many games I said, turn 2 magic statue in the sacred temple, turn 3 traveling panda, get a free stone, next turn mosasaur, don't tap your lands. Thanks.
And then they go to Scoop Cities soon after that.
Because you're just like, great, I have a 15/10 and an 8/8. I don't care what you're playing now.
Yeah.
This dude requires an answer if he's in play. And even then, you can destroy... He came in clutch a couple games because the dude played a 10/10 unblockable on me, and I was like, oh god. He swung once, and I was like, great, tap that, kill it.
Yeah.
So Mosasaur does his job well.
I love how simple that art is too. He's just like, I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
You're gone.
And the last one that everybody feared was a Misty Dragon Spirit.
That's pretty.
I had a full art one, which is pretty awesome. And it's 4 mana 9/9 flyer. You can pay 0, remove a card from the game. At the next end step, put it back into play under its owner's control. Card is good. It's real strong. I didn't get to use it as much as I wanted because it was always blocking something. Because people, when you play it, it's number one process to die.
Yeah.
Because it's too good. Because it's a 9/9 flyer that never dies. It just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I was forced to block with it because I was like, I can't take that right now. But of the whole weekend, the MVP is the little Dragonoid girl. Oh my god, white Dragonoid child, MVP of my whole deck.
And what's the rarity of that card?
It's a common.
It's a common. There you go.
Oh my god. So 4 mana 7/7. When it comes into play, recover target resonator. If it's a Dragonoid or Panda, it gets +2/+2.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a ton of pandas already. I don't have any Dragonoids, but whatever.
Yeah.
So many games, people thought they would win because I had my dudes tapped, or I would swing with something, untap it, and swing again. Because it makes a heavy arms panda a very terrifying thing to deal with. Because it's already swung 12, you untap it and swing 14. But so many games, just the untapped target resonator crushes people because they think it's just a Dragonoid or a panda. One dude was just like, great. He kept down my Mosasaur. He kept it tapped, and I was like, cool. Play this, untap my Mosasaur, swing 15. And he was all, what? Great. Can't deal with that. And then with that, so that was my main deck of the cards in it.
Yeah.
So when I chose my ruler, I of course chose the ruler that deals with gems. And in the way it works is you could use the draft rulers. One deals with gems, one is strength counters, one is the rain, one is elementals, and the other is mystery counters. They all are pretty much the exact same in what they do except for their special thing.
Yeah. They all filter your mana, which is pretty nice.
They all have limit counters at the start of the game. And you put 2 limited counters on them. You can pay 1 and you filter a mana from one color to another color. And then mine says at the beginning of the game, you gain a gem of any attribute, and there's Treasure Hunter Farika.
And like you said, was talking about earlier, you get to choose that gem after you keep your hand.
Yeah, I didn't know this until I played the dude that won the tournament and told me that, because he was playing the same ruler. And I was like, wait, you could choose after you draw your hand? That's amazing. So the first 2 rounds I won without just knowing that, and then I finally got to choose it, and it makes your life much easier to decide things.
Yeah.
Because if you have a water panda in your hand, you choose a water gem. Or if you have the children, you choose one of the other colored gems. Because a 1/1 for 1 is probably going to die quickly.
Yeah.
Or you can force it to die by attacking something and get the gems you need. So it helps you set up a lot.
And if it's correct, all 4 of them judgment for 4, right?
Yeah, they judgment for like 3 or 4. But they differ on their powers, on their power and toughness. And when Farika judgments, she turns into a 10/10. Most of them are base 10/10.
Yeah.
But some of them, like You get better if like
bonuses for what they do,
yeah.
pretty much.
When she flips, you gain 2 gems of any one attribute, and they still have their limited ability on the back. The other card in limited, I did not get one, but I would have played it if I had one. Is AU Special Medicine. That card is amazing in limited just for the simple fact that it makes your ruler bigger than their ruler.
Yeah.
And because all the draft rulers I do believe are 10/10s, so my dude's bigger than yours.
Yep.
I'm gonna win this fight. Very rarely did I flip my ruler. It was either to get the last little bit of damage or because they flipped their ruler, so I had to have something to block it to kill it.
Yeah.
That's usually when a ruler flips in limited.
Just to trade with the other one.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But that's really it as far as it went on that. My stones, I played 5 light stones, 2 green stones, and 3 blue stones. Because mostly I needed the white more than anything.
Yeah.
Green was my last color. And because I had enough draw and I had the limit counters and the statue, like I had enough ways to filter mana, I figured that 3 and 2 would be okay on the other 2 colors.
Yeah, not too bad.
It really didn't hurt me that often, so I mean a couple times it did, but it wasn't terrible.
No, with a Force of Will Sealed, is everything else your sideboard technically?
Yes, everything else is your sideboard.
You could even make a separate deck if you want to. But of course, again, new match, you revert back to your first one.
You can. It's not really.
Yeah,
you don't really want to.
It's very when you're just like, I'm done here. I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah.
But with that, what's the sideboard that you decided to choose?
Okay, so of my other pool, I had like 4 or 5 cards that I could actually sideboard for any kind of use.
Yeah.
I only really ever sideboarded one because it was the one I needed, and it should have been main board, but I'm bad at this game sometimes. But my sideboard cards were the Crier Mermaid, 4/5 for 2. When it blocks, prevent all damage dealt to this card. It gets bigger if the weather's rain. Whatever, it blocks and doesn't take damage.
Yeah.
Portal Magus is a 2/2 for 1, and you banish this card, destroy target addition. If there's an addition that can hurt you, I put it in. And the other one is another Golem, Tower Guardian. Mobilize, he's a 10/12. Mobilize for 2, and this card gains barrier during your opponent's turn.
Nice.
He's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really see a use of bringing him in that often.
Because you already had other bigger dudes kind of in.
But I thought about him if I needed him.
Yeah.
But the card that I messed up on, and that I should have put main board, was an Elvish Exorcist, or Elven Exorcist. 3 mana, 6/7. When it battles with a Resonator, it gains +4/+3.
Pretty good.
I messed up. This should have been main board in place of a New Discovery.
Yeah.
Because that card was bad.
Yeah.
This card was amazing, and I that's why I messed up. And for whatever reason, when I was making my deck, it didn't strike me that Bullseye Bow would trigger off of this being in play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
some
didn't
types
think about
of creatures sometimes don't
So
matter.
almost every game, I was like, cool, a New Discovery gets out, give me this other creature.
Yeah.
When in doubt, put more creatures in. Like, it's just what it is. More or less, like, that's the deck, really, than the sideboard cards I had. I had a couple other, like, green and blue cards, but they weren't good for what I needed them to do.
Yeah. If you want, what's your style of selecting a great sealed pull?
You really just look for how I always do it is I look at my rares first. I know it's bad, but that's just what I do.
Yeah.
I always look at my rares. I keep them separated so I can see what they do and how they work. And then I go off of those colors of the rares. Because whatever rare is there, because your rares are almost always going to be your bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
And in sealed, they're what you're going to probably go off of, or what you should go off of. And then you go with the other colors that support those rares. So for me, luckily I had 3 blue rares, a white rare, and a colorless rare.
Nice.
So 5 of my 6 were pretty hot. So it was really helpful, and 3 of them being the same color made blue pretty simple to be in the deck.
Yeah. With that, I am the opposite. I literally just be like, how many cards do I have in this color? I go through it, and that's usually when I'm like, okay, that looks good. Keep that to the side, get a sub-color, and then that's how I do it, pretty much. And whatever can control the board, mostly.
Yeah, it's however you feel like doing it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
Your play
literally
style.
your play style. I have always done it by rares because
yeah.
it's just how I've always played it. You can call me scrub all you want, that's fine, but that's just how I've always done it. Had I won my last match, I could have been in top 8 with this deck. But he got me with a little bit more control. And if you open a Beelzebub, Oh my god, I hope
Just-
your black is good enough to support him, because that dude
Yeah.
is strong. That dude is real hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, that guy's really good.
So as far as the matches go for me, it wasn't awful. Like the first person I played, she had every good rare drop in the game. Every good red drop, I'm sorry. She had the environmental researcher that makes a 10-10 flyer.
Yeah.
Hellblaze, the big 12-12 flyer. She had a 10-10 dinosaur that puts mystery counters. And then another big 10-10 Velociraptor. So I had to deal with every good red card and black card, and I was like, oh my god, stop. Finally, I was able to just power through with Pandas. Go Panda power. But it was rough. I had to throw lots of dudes in lots of people ways. And the biggest thing is, since you can attack resonators, don't be afraid to throw your dudes into other dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, that clearing the board, keeping your board clear is pretty good. The next match I won pretty easily. He tried to kill me with a flyer, but I had the statue open so I could block it. So I was just like, no, I'm going to win now. And then that third match, the guy that won the whole tournament in GP, Frank, I applaud you, man. Good job, but
Rough.
I had you. He got me first game with a gym jail, which gym jail is pay white and 2 double X, and you remove X gyms.
Just like that.
You remove X creatures from the game.
Jeez.
I had a Mosasaur, Mermaid, and something else. That was a blue Aquamarine. And then in my hand was the Bounce All Non-Water dude. So I was like, I don't care what you play. If it's not a dude that's blue, I'm winning. Because I'm just going to bounce all your dudes and swing in for death. And then I wasn't expecting Gym Jail, and he was just like, remove all those dudes. And I was like, oh.
Like, oh yeah, thanks.
And then game 2, I lost to that silly Take 11 spell. Magic Impact. Card is good. I was so sad because he was just like, what are you at? You're at 11? Exactly? And you're tapped out? Take 11. I was like, I threw up my hands and I was just like, no! Why?
Sometimes silly cards get through.
They get there. I know he sideboarded it in too because I watched him I didn't see what he did, but I was pretty sure he did not play that main board. And I was even more sad when I'm pretty sure he put that in sideboard. So if you did, well played, sir.
Yeah.
And the other guy I lost to was the next round, which was Red Black. Just, I hate your dudes. He had every kill spell known to man in limited. Also, the 3-drop that kills a dude, and if you pay mystery counters, they take damage equal to that dude's power.
Yeah.
The card's bad when you're just like, kill your Mosasaur, take 15. You kind of lose to that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was pretty simple. You just swing with dudes a lot. And
it's pretty much what you do. Hopefully you just roll out a good curve of dudes and you keep swinging.
Mm-hmm. And you hope your bombs stick.
Yeah.
Because if your bomb sticks, it's going to be a lot easier for you.
Or your bombs kill their bombs, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, if you can trade off, then sure, great, go for it. But overall, the sealed is super fun, and I think it's great for the GPs to do because it puts everybody at the same level playing field.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there is more skill in certain aspects of it, but everybody is at the same point where they get the cards at the same time.
Yeah.
One person can't know all the tricks of this one deck like they normally can, so you don't know how to play against it, but they know how to play against yours because they've played that deck for years. Whereas in a sealed, we're all starting in 50 minutes. You have 50 minutes to build a deck. Go.
And hopefully you can just get there.
And that's it. And then you just play with what you got. And so, I mean, it does have some luck to it. I hope you get good pulls, but skill is what takes you from the luck part of it to the end.
Yeah.
So how you play with the cards you get is what helps you.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a great experience. A lot of our people went and they had some fun. One of our guys made 12th. I got 22nd place because I had to play him in the last round.
Yeah, that's never fun when you travel with a buddy and you're in a big tournament and you play against them.
Yeah, when you play from the same dude from your area,
fun.
I was like, great. And then the other girl that went, she got like 46th, but it was her first GP. She had a great time. One of our other dudes went to go be a judge, so hopefully that works out. We'll find out here in a little bit. But overall, it was a great tournament.
Yeah. Usually, if it's always your first big tournament, you're probably just how it always works. You're probably going to lose, but that's okay because you just keep going at it and you'll get better.
Yeah, you get
every
to
time.
learn everything. But I will be going to more GPs. I do plan on going to Denver. So if any of y'all are in the Denver area in June or July, whenever that one is, catch us there. We'll be there.
Nice.
Geektopia Island will be there.
Oh yeah.
I do believe it's sealed as well, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Any of the other ones we can make, we're gonna go try to be at. So
Heck yeah.
hope y'all enjoyed this the sealed version of Kevin's Kreations for GP Richardson and my thoughts and everything on it. And thank you, Cardwell, for helping me with this.
No problem. No problem.
This has been a Geektopia Island production. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and keep up to date with our future content.
And please join us on our social media and check us out on Twitch.